Hello traders, welcome to the market opening preview January 13th, 2015. Traders coming to you live from Thailand, cloudy skies and very cold. Traders, this is brought to you through FXCL Excellence in Trading. Sorry, I just lost my mind there for a second. It happens. Alright traders, let's get a move on. Lot to talk about today. Let me introduce myself to you. My name is William Gilday. I'm your moderator through the market opening preview series every single trading day before the London Open. Traders, we also do the Friday wrap-up, which is about 6 hours after the New York close, where we go over between 12 and 20 daily charts of what happened in the past week and what might happen in the week to come. I hope that you all join me and have a good time. Alright traders, I started trading in the year of 2006 and 2008. I retired from an awesome career in the fire rescue department out of the great state of Florida. And I got on the Big Bird 9 days later and came over to Thailand for a 3-month holiday. And well traders, it's 2015 and I'm still here. Traders, the nice thing about Thailand is not only is it beautiful, the people are awesome and the food is damn good. And I have to tell you that trading hours are great. I can basically trade all 3 trading sessions, only about 2 hours, 2.5 hours of the New York session until we go back to daylight savings time. Then I can do 3 hours. And I can still get a good night's rest and be up at 5:30 in the morning like I am every morning looking at news, data, and charts before I record my videos. Alright, let's move on to the risk disclaimer. Forex trading has a large potential rewards, but also a large potential of risk. You must be aware of the risks and be willing to accept them in order to invest in the Forex markets. Traders, most of all, do not trade with money you cannot afford to lose. Traders, always remember that past performance of any trading system or methodology is not necessarily indicative of future results. Meaning, if you're on a demo account and you go to a live account, you will see a difference in your trading success. It's only because it's psychological when you have your live money on the table. Alright, let's talk about some news and commentary. Alright, well, today I have to tell you there is absolutely no high impact news events. China's got imports and trade balance and exports already happened already. There is absolutely nothing in, not even medium impact. Oh, there's one. We have CPI medium impact from the pound during London. And we do have a high impact. We got CPI year on year in London today. So I was wrong. We do have a high impact pound news CPI year on year today in the London session. And as we travel down through the New York session, there was absolutely nothing in the New York session. So we have one big news event today, 90 minutes after London opens. We have Great British Pound CPI. All right, let's take a look at what the markets did yesterday. Lots of red. The Dow 30, negative 0.54%. S&P 500, negative 0.80%. NASDAQ negative 0.84%. Russell 2000, negative 0.47%. Let's go over to the other side of the world. Well, at least in the Eurozone, we had some green numbers. The DAX closed positive at 1.38%. The FTSE 100 closed positive at 0.11%, barely in the green. And the CAC 40 closed at positive 1.18%. And the Eurostoxx 50 closed at 1.33%. Nice moving from the Eurozone. All right, traders, let's head over to my side of the world. The Nikkei 225 is down, currently trading at negative 1.72%. The S&P ASX 200 is also negative 0.28%. The Shanghai is negative 0.32% and currently trading. Is the Hang Seng at positive 0.36%, and the Kospi is a negative 0.19%. Traders, did I say the Shanghai that was positive 0.5%? 42%. I thought I said it was negative. It is positive. And the Kospi is in the red. So that's what's going on with that. Yesterday, what a wild day. I will never say again that the Monday after NFP is slow. Wow, did we have some crazy moves or what yesterday? I was like shocked when I saw some of these charts. When I came in to look at my charts about 15 minutes before London, a lot of these trades already had made their moves. And there was 4 currency pairs that we normally look at moved over between 70 and 80 pips yesterday. I hope some of you caught some. I did not catch any of them. And of course, I didn't expect to be trading on a Monday after NFP. So I really wasn't paying attention. And wow, did I lose out. There were some awesome trades. The only tricky part yesterday was that we had a lot of hard entries. Some of these entries, you never got pullbacks. You just had to get in it and go. So it was a quite challenging trading day, but also there was a lot of pips to be made there yesterday. So kind of a tricky day, but there was a lot of pips. I hope some of you got some of them. All right, we're going to go over to the 60-minute Forex chart review, and we're going to review our Forex charts. Got some weird setups today just because of where these charts are at and where price action is at compared to the daily chart and all that good stuff. So we got some pretty strange setups today. Well, let's see what we can do. Let's start off with the euro dollar. The euro dollar, I'm looking for this break of this trend line. We're going to take this down. This is an 83, I think it's an 83 pip range here. So we can get a break below this trend line with a bearish candlestick formation close, and we can short it right down to that bottom orange line there, and we can take profit and we can get our 30 pips, 25, 30 pips, and get out. Now, what happens if it goes above and heads up and breaks resistance? You have to redo a trade plan, I have to be honest with you. But right at the moment, and we're like 5 hours away from the London Open when I do this, but if you look at those Bollinger Bands, they're closed. Don't trade anything when you have closed Bollinger Bands, all right? All right, let's take a look at the pound dollar. The pound dollar, this chart, yes, it's the exact same chart from yesterday. I just had to move a couple of numbers around, but it took all of yesterday to finally come up to where we want to short this. This is the 618. This is where we want to short it. We hope this just hangs out here for another 3 or 4 hours, and we will short this all the way back down to 50.52. No big change here. The stop is a 200 exponential moving average, and it was very easy to do this one today. Did take me a lot of time to figure this one out. This is the exact same chart as yesterday, and I just refreshed some numbers. That's about it. All right, let's take a look at the Euro-Aussie. The Euro-Aussie, this is a little tricky today. The Euro-Aussie daily chart is bearish, okay? So now we have a situation here where this decided yesterday that it wanted to jump up to the skies. And now it's, if you look at the last 24 hours worth of candles here, it's bullish. So I only want to sell this. I mean, it's bearish. The pair is bearish. I want to sell it. However, after watching yesterday, not too sure how this is going to work out. So the trade plan is for today, we're going to break this trend line. We're going to get a retest of the trend line, and we're going to short it to 1.4399. That sounds like a good number to me. And then we'll take our profits from there. Now, I put in here what happens if this breaks resistance. Well, there's a good trade here, and the trade is you're going to trade this up to that 200 exponential moving average at 1.4644. That's 38 pips. We only want 20 of it. So you have a little bit of leeway room in case you're late to get into the trade. But that's 38 pips from that resistance line to the 200. So you got plenty of pips where you can get in this safely and get some pips out of this. In case this decides to pull another, let's just blow up and head up to the sky. So I gave you 2 trade plans to get in there. I also gave you 2 entries. If this comes up to resistance and gives you a bearish candlestick formation at 1.4551, I gave you the opportunity to take this back down to the downside from there also. So you have 2 entries to the downside, 1 entry to the upside. Plenty of information on that chart. All right, let's take a look at the Aussie. Aussie's in a nasty range. Folks, yes, I mean, you can see yesterday's trade, what it did. What can I tell you? The Aussie is bearish. I don't know what this is going to do. Look at these Bollinger Bands. They're pointing directly at each other. I don't like this pair at the moment. We'll see what happens at London Open. If it breaks to the downside, you see the arrow, take it down. Put your stop loss right above which would then be resistance. And the same, if it pops resistance, gives you a bullish candlestick formation, put your stop right below the support. That would then come support and take it up. That's the best I can give you on this Aussie dollar. I did not expect to see this price action. We watched this happen yesterday, and Asia ended. We were on that big blue candle. Then you see an indecision candle, another blue candle, and then that red candle. So we saw this happening. So the trade play yesterday was come back down to the 618 and take it back up. What did it do? Remember I talked about entry? It never gave us a pullback. It just continued down, and this thing I think moved 113 pips yesterday. Just unbelievable stuff yesterday out of the Aussie. All right, here's the Euro Yen. Pretty simple. We want this to pull back up to this resistance line, and we want to sell it. That's it. There's nothing more to say. It's bearish. We have plenty of room on the daily chart to do this. We just want this to come up, give us our trade. There was nothing to fib here. There was nothing to figure out here. It's bearish. So what I did was I went up to the next spot of resistance at 139.94. We want this to pull back to there, and we will take this to the downside. All right, and ending with the New Zealand dollar. This was a wild pair yesterday also. Wow. If you weren't on it, now there was a trade yesterday on the New Zealand dollar, but it was very hard to get into. You basically had to get in there like blindfolded, without a pullback, and it would have been tough to get in it. But if you got in it, you made a good 60 or 70 pips. Now this is hanging out at the 200 exponential moving average. If you look at the New Zealand dollar daily chart and shrink the candles down, you will see that this is still very, very bearish. There's a lot of room to support still, because that range is like 180 pip range, 160 pip range. So we have plenty of room to go to the downside. So I want this to break this trend line, and let's take it down. I gave you 2 spots to exit this, depending on how you want to manage your trade. But let's see if we can get this to break this trend line, and we will be set for today's trade. What if it goes above there and gives you a bullish candlestick formation? You know what? Take the trade to the upside. Put your stop below the 200 exponential moving average and take it to the upside. You have to trade what's in front of you sometimes, and this can bounce on the daily and give us that. So don't worry if you have to go against what I put on the screen and you have to buy this, because I might have to buy this. If this, gives me a higher low than the high of that little doji there, I might take this up. However, look at those Bollinger Bands. Those Bollinger Bands are horrible, and I would do anything till these Bollinger Bands open. And remember, we only have one piece of data coming out of the Great British Pound 90 minutes after the London Open. Traders, on behalf of myself, William Gilday, and our great friends at FXCL Excellence in Trading, I'd like to thank you for joining me on this beautiful Tuesday morning out of Pattaya, Thailand. Slightly, partly cloudy skies. Looks like the sun is trying to pop out here. Maybe we will be able to get outside today and just take a walk. There's definitely no swimming today, folks. It is cold in Thailand in the last 6 weeks. Traders, have a great trading day. Grab them grab them pips, and always remember to trade smart and not hard. Take care, my friends, and we'll see you tomorrow before the London Open.